Today I'm going to look into my crocheted crystal ball to see what trends we might be seeing for 2024. Hi, I'm Elise from EliseRoseCrochet.com. And can you believe it's almost 2024? I remember as a kid thinking about how high-tech the 2000s were going to be. That's probably because I watched way too many episodes of The Jetsons. And last year I did a video about my predictions for amigurumi crochet toys, and I thought this year it would be fun to include all of crochet, including amigurumi, which I'm going to go into a little more detail towards the end of the video. I've taken cues from the home decor and the fashion industries to come up with these predictions, but many of them, just to be honest, I just guessed. I just made up things that I thought might be trendy in 2024, and it'll be interesting to go back at the end of next year and see if I was completely wrong about them all, or maybe I got a few of them right. My first crochet trend prediction is about garments. I think that we're going to see a lot of oversized garment patterns like sweaters and cardigans. And the reason is, and it's not really because I am so trendy and I can see into the future, it's really because that is more on trend in the fashion industry in general. And I am here for it because I love oversized anything. And I think that we're going to see a lot of really amazing designs that are very oversized, comfy, cozy, and relaxed. My next prediction is all about the guys. My friend Michelle Ferguson just came out with a brand new book called Crochet Makes for Men, and it's doing quite well. And I think that crochet garments for men is going to be more and more popular in 2024. Crochet garments in general have come a long way in the last few years, and if you look at these designs from Michelle from Two Brothers Blankets, you're going to be really surprised because these don't look like handmade or homemade garments. These look like something that you would find in the trendiest stores. Let's take a moment to talk about today's sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning platform for creative-minded people. They have thousands of amazing classes in so many different creative areas like crochet, knitting, and sewing, just to name a few. What's great is that all of the Skillshare classes are online. You can learn from the comforts of your own home, and they are ad-free. One of my favorite new Skillshare classes is Intermediate Crochet, Create a Crochet Shirt by Lee Sartori of Coco Crochet Lee. This is a fantastic class for those of you who want to level up your existing crochet skills. The class contains 12 different lessons that will help you to create your first crocheted garment. One of my favorite lessons is about gauge swatching, and this is a topic that makes a lot of people scared, but Lee's going to walk you through exactly how to do it so that you end up with a crocheted garment that fits you like a glove. And what's even better is that the first 500 people to click the link in the description box below will get a 1-month free trial to Skillshare. Lee also has 3 other classes. One of them is on amigurumi, another is on Tunisian crochet. But take some time to explore all of the classes that Skillshare has to offer. There's something for everyone. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. My next crochet trend prediction has to do with granny squares. Granny squares have been popular for the last few years, well actually probably the last several decades, but I think we're going to see a little bit of a twist on the traditional granny square. I think that we're going to see more home decor and more garments with the granny stripe. I think that's the way we're going to be leaning for 2024. And one of my favorite recent projects is from Debbie from Madam Stitch. She and a few of her crochet designer friends came up with the Crochet Along the Granny Stitch Sampler Blanket. It's a collection of 12 different granny stitch squares that when combined creates the coziest, most beautiful blanket. And if you go on to Pinterest and type in granny stripe crochet, you're going to see so many gorgeous projects from garments to home decor, anything that you can think. You're going to find all of these beautiful crocheted makes with that particular stitch. And one of my favorite projects of all time is the Granny Goes Large Blanket by Sandra Paul of Cherry Heart. I've shared it so many times on this channel, but it really is one of my favorite projects. It is very mindless. It's one of those projects that you can just pick up. You don't need a pattern. Once you get the repeats and you know exactly what to do, you don't even need to look at the pattern. And that is one one of the nicest projects to make. And I made it when my son was in the hospital and I didn't need anything stressful. I needed something calm and it was the perfect blanket. And I will leave a link to that in the description box below for you. One of the trends that I think us crocheters are going to see in 2024 has to do with color. Now, every year Pantone puts out their color of the year, and I'm making my video a little too early and they haven't shared it quite yet. But we do have some clues about what colors are going to be in style for 2024. One of the best places to find trendy colors is with paint companies. I know that that may sound really weird, but paint companies like Sherwin-Williams and Benjamin Moore will put out their color of the year. These are trend setters in the home decor world, and I think for us crocheters, it's a really good idea for us to pay attention to these. Sherwin-Williams has announced that their color of the year for 2024 is upward. It's a breezy, blissful blue, the color found when we slow down, take a breath, and allow the mind to clear. This is such a beautiful, calming color, and I think that we're going to see a lot of crochet projects incorporating this particular shade of blue. But what's really interesting is that Benjamin Moore has also come out with their color of the year for 2024, and it's called Blue Nova, and it's a deeper, richer shade of blue. And I find that really interesting that they have both chosen a blue tone. But what I find even more interesting is that Benjamin Moore went on to share an entire color palette that goes with that Blue Nova, and they created this beautiful video that I found fascinating. But what they have really incorporated into that video was not just the different shades, but how they shared those different shades, and they did it with a video all about travel. And I can see that those travel themes, those colors with the yellows and the blues and the greens can all be used with our crochet projects. And maybe if you're an amigurumi designer, or maybe you design blankets, or maybe you just like to make things that are super on trend, think of those travel type items and maybe incorporate those colors. I could see that being very on trend for 2024. Another crochet trend that I think we're going to see in 2024 has to do with crochet accessories. As crochet has continued to gain popularity in lots of different age groups, I think that we're going to see a lot more items that are marketed towards crocheters that aren't things like yarn and hooks and notions. For example, one of my favorite things that I recently purchased was a crochet coloring book designed by Erin Taves of Juniper and Oaks. I've had so much fun coloring. It's something that I used to love to do as a kid, and I am finding it just fun, relaxing, but also I've been using this as a way to test out different color combinations for future crochet projects. But I think that we're going to see more crocheted themed t-shirts, sweatshirts, bags, home decor items that express ourselves as crocheters, because I think a lot of us are identifying more as, hey, I'm a crocheter. That's who I am. That's what I do. And we want to share that loud and proud. Maybe you'll put a bumper sticker on the back of your car. I think that could be really fun, but I think we're going to see more and more of that moving forward. Now we're going to move on to the topic that I love the most, and that's amigurumi. I've got a lot of ideas about where I think amigurumi crochet toys are going to be going in 2024. Amigurumi is more popular than ever, and I've been making them since 2017, and I have seen the amigurumi world explode. There are so many amazing patterns out there, and what I predict is going to happen is that we're going to see bigger and more extreme amigurumi projects than we have ever seen before. But one thing that I think that we all need to be aware of, and this is something that my friend Cheryl from Crochet 365 Knit 2 brought to my attention, is the problem with AI generated crochet images. Now, you may have been seeing them floating around on the internet. I have had many people send them to me to say, oh wow, look at this amazing crochet project. And they don't realize that this is AI generated. And at first I didn't either. I saw this collection of photos of these beautiful old grandmas wearing superhero costumes. They were crocheted Batman costumes, and I showed them to my son because when he was growing up, he absolutely was obsessed with Batman. Loved Batman so much. He had the Batman costume, he had all the stuff. So I showed it to him and he said, Mom, that's AI generated. He's 21 years old. He understands this stuff way better than I do. And I was like, no, this can't be. And he was like, Mom, look. And so he's showing me some of the details on it. And I thought, oh, okay. But I've been seeing some of them when it comes to amigurumi, and one of them was this crocheted elephant. It is almost life size of an elephant, and it gives you this idea that, oh wow, look at this amazing project that someone did. It is not real. And if you look at the image, the one that I saw anyway, the elephant had like 5 legs. There was something when you looked at the details of it that just didn't quite make sense. But these AI images are getting better and better and more sophisticated. I found an entire thread sharing all of these different images on Ribbler, and I will leave a link to it in the description box below because this is really fascinating stuff. There was a lion, an alligator, a giraffe, a buffalo, a dragon, oh my gosh, that is so amazing, a cow, a whale, a tiger, a gorilla, a horse, a hippo, a shark, a walrus, and a rhinoceros. These are all fantastical. They look amazing, but I will say one thing. I know that that gorilla is not real, and I'll tell you why. Any real crocheter knows that you are never, ever going to crochet an entire project with black yarn because it is so hard to see. And when you are doing amigurumi, I can't even imagine. You must have superhuman eyes to be able to see those stitches with that dark color of yarn. But I wanted to share that with you all. I know most of you probably already know that these images are circling around and people are talking about them in Facebook groups, but just be aware that sometimes when you see these amazing crochet projects that seem too good to be true, they probably are. And even though those images aren't real, I think that they're going to influence actual crochet designers to push those limits to make things that are bigger and more amazing. Another trend that I think that we're going to see moving into 2024 is when it comes to amigurumi animals. I think that we're going to start seeing more and more realistic looking animals like dogs and cats. And I have seen several of them floating around on the internet, and some of them actually make me pause because I'm like, wait a minute, is that a real cat? Is that a real dog? Or is that a crocheted one? Some of them are truly incredible. But I think that this is going to move into other animals as well, like maybe bunnies and birds. And I haven't seen a lot of cat ones. I've seen mostly dogs, but I think that we're going to see other realistic companion animals as well. And someone who's already doing this in the knitted toy world is Dot Pebbles Knits. I knit her wild rabbit pattern and it is extraordinary. It's one of my proudest amigurumi makes that I have ever done. It's beautiful, and Dot Pebbles is one of those designers that can create such realistic looking animals. They're all knit though, and she has a book, she has videos, but I could see that gaining in popularity for us crocheters, for people to start crocheting more realistic looking animals. Maybe that's given me an idea. Maybe I should be the one to do that. Another trend that I think that we're going to see with amigurumi crochet toys in 2024 is mythical creatures. One of my favorite amigurumi designers, Hooked by Katie, has some of the most amazing, fantastical creatures that you will ever see. You have to check out some of her dragon designs. They are incredible. And I think that we're going to see more and more mythical creatures from literature and movies. I think that we're going to see more and more of those in 2024. One of the reasons why I think that we're going to see more of that style of amigurumi project is that those tend to be a little bit more complicated than, say, some of the simple patterns that I design, like little pigs and a little mouse, those types of things. And it's because as amigurumi has been evolving in the last 10 years or so, we're seeing more technical amigurumi. We're seeing the skills of amigurumi makers growing. And as that happens, amigurumi designers are getting better and they are learning how to do these new techniques and these new skills, and they're putting them into their designs, and amigurumi makers are learning how to do it with them. And I think that we're going to see some amazing things going into 2024. Another theme that I think is going to continue to be trendy into 2024 is woodland creatures for amigurumi. And one of the reasons for that is because of Irina Lee from Little Aqua Girl. She's come out with her brand new book, Enchanted Woodland Amigurumi, Crochet 15 Forest Fairies and Friends. This is a beautiful book. I love everything that Irina designs. Every single one of these is full of charm and personality and character, and they're all so whimsical, and I love everything that she designs, if you can't tell. But one of my favorites is this beautiful little badger. Her name is Piper, and she is the cutest little badger you ever saw. Now, if you can make a badger look cute, you are truly talented, because Arena has done the cutest designs. And another one that I love of hers is her frog. His name's Bogart the Toad, and he could not be cuter. He's got a little fly on his head. And he looks a little bit grumpy, which I really like. He's very cute. But I think the whole theme of woodland and fairies and magic, I think that those are going to continue to be popular and trendy through 2024. And I'll leave a link for Arena's new book in the description box below. Another trend that I think is going to continue to grow into 2024 is pop culture crochet. More and more people want to crochet their favorite characters from TV and movies, and publishers are putting out books faster than I think those poor designers can pump them out. And one of my favorites is by Lee Sartori of Coco Crochet Lee. It's her Friends crochet book. It's called The One with the Crochet, which I love that play on all of the episode names of Friends, and especially with the passing of Matthew Perry recently, I think that this would be very on trend going into 2024. But this book is full of amigurumi characters, but you'll also find home decor and garments as well, all Friends themed. And I think that's going to continue to be popular into 2024 as we see more people creating those characters, designing amigurumi characters based on their favorite TV shows and movies. Another trend that I think that is going to continue to be a big deal in 2024 is chunky chenille yarn for amigurumi, or plushies as they call them. I did an experiment recently where I tested 3 different chunky chenille yarns, and I will leave a link to that video in the description box below. But this is a new and emerging trend. And I know that you're thinking, wait, I think a lot of people are already doing this, but here's why I think this is really about to explode. The brand new book by Mama Made Minis just came out. It's called Knotted Lovies. And in this book, Allie and Lindsay, who are sisters, have been designing the most adorable amigurumi toys with chunky chenille yarns. And I cannot wait for you to check this book out. But the reason why I think that this is going to continue to be a trend is when the publishers in the world start paying attention and creating books with this in mind, with chunky chenille yarns in mind. That is a clue to me that this is getting ready to really be a big deal. And you have to see these patterns. They are so adorable. If you don't follow them on Instagram, you're missing out, because they have some of the most adorable toys. These are those lovies. These are those little toys that kids want to hold and cuddle and snuggle, and I love every single one of them. And they actually sent me some yarn to go with it so that I could make my very own. I've got to show it to you. This is the Premier Basics Chenille Brights, and this would be perfect. This would be perfect for this particular pattern. Dash Dino. How adorable is this little guy? And what I love about them is that they're knotted. They knot them. Who would have ever thought to put a knot in your amigurumi toy? And I think that they're either not stuffed at all or barely stuffed. Kids can hold them and they can drape over their arms, and they're just so cute. Another amigurumi trend that I think is going to gain in popularity in 2024 is micro amigurumi. Have you been seeing these teeny tiny little crochet dolls? They're incredible. I've seen several of them, especially little Anne of Green Gables dolls that are maybe a couple of inches high. They're absolutely incredible. And I think that that's what we're going to see in 2024 is those extremes. We're going to see the really large things, the big bold things, and then I think we're going to see the little teeny tiny, the most minuscule little toys you've ever seen. And while I can appreciate it so much, it's probably not something that I'm going to participate in, because I cannot imagine crocheting with thread. That's basically what you have to do to create those teeny tiny little dolls, and they have so much detail. It absolutely blows my mind. Amigurumi makers are starting to want to show off their skills a little bit. I think that we have gained in our skills. Many people have a few years under our belts now with crocheting amigurumi, and we're ready to push the limits a little bit. And that's why I think we're going to see more and more of those micro amigurumi. Okay, this is my last prediction, and this one is probably going to be a doozy, but I am predicting that one particular animal is going to be a big deal in 2024. So think back a few years ago when llamas were the rage. You saw llamas everywhere. Everybody was making llamas. Well, now I think that a new animal is going to be emerging, and the reason why I think this is because when I've been going on to my Instagram page, I keep seeing this one particular animal over and over again. And you know what? It definitely could be that I'm just liking those, and so Instagram keeps showing them to me. So this could be a real shot in the dark here. But the animal that I think is going to be all the rage in 2024 is a lobster. I know. I could be completely wrong on this. I could be completely wrong on a lot of these, but this one really is just out of thin air. This is one that maybe I'm just hoping. Maybe I'm hoping lobsters are going to be a thing because I think they're so cute. And of course, I've made one of my own from Animal Friends at Peek-a-Pow, and he's so cute. We call him Lino, but I see more and more of them, and I just think that they're absolutely adorable. And I would love to see them get a little bit more accolades, a little more attention. Lobsters need more attention. I hope you enjoyed today's video and all of my ridiculous predictions for 2024. It'll be interesting to look back and see how many of them I actually got right. Maybe one, hopefully, maybe. But I would love to know, what do you think is going to be on trend for us crocheters next year? But I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. Stay safe and happy stitching.